everybody, and how are we doing today? It is the 13th of March 2022. I'm back in the podding shed. I don't know if you can hear Roxy barking outside, but we're here. We are here. It's the Sunday night live podding shed chat. How are we all doing? Hope you're all well. Hope you've all had a fantastic week. Now, today I'm going to be talking about an event I went to on Wednesday where I got to showcase or see some of the upcoming products for 2022. And I got a few things that I would like to go through with you guys from that. Before that, we have got, what have we got? What I've been up to over this last week. But first of all, let's see if we've actually got anybody out there today. So first of all, Ballycillion, good evening to you. Hope you are well. Turbo Stream, good evening. Veg Army, good evening to you. Philly SPB has joined, good evening to you. Richard Golden has joined, good evening to you. Anna Jones has joined, good evening to you. Rebecca Hawkins, good evening to you. Laura W, good evening to you. Nigel Muddy Boots, good evening to you. Lovely to see you the other day. Hargrave Gas, good evening to you. Hope you've all had a great week. I have indeed had a great week. More on that in just a moment. Graham Arnold, good evening to you. Kate Spratt, good evening to you. Hope you are well. Ian Sugnet, good evening to you, Dad. Hope you are well. Gary Filler, hello, mate. Haven't seen you here for a while. Hope you are well. Oracle Ards Allotment, hello to you. Stuart Jackson, good evening. Hope the Veg Army are all okay. Good evening to you. Chili Kate, hello. Such a beautiful day. Hasn't it been a beautiful day? Hasn't it been a beautiful weekend? Alice McGowan, good evening to you. Amanda Joy, good evening to you. Jenny Hallett, good evening to you. Hope you are well. And not just Green Fingers UK blog, good evening from Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Hope you are well. So, I think that is roll call. Please do keep leaving your comments coming in. The phone line is open. If you want to call it in, I'll put this number across the bottom of the screen, 07307 135 174. And of course, you can also zap yourself in and appear on screen with the link that's going up in the comments as well. Alison Whelan is joined from the Facebook group. If you are in the Facebook group and you leave a comment, please just leave your name at the end like Alison has so I know who to address. So, what have I been up to this week? It's been a fantastic week, I've got to say. You'll hear on the podcast, I finally feel like spring is really here. I've had a couple of days off work this week, Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday, I was at a gardening event that we're going to go through in just a moment. Thursday, Roxy and I, my little puppy, we spent the entire day down on the allotment and we have done, well, we had basically started the big spring cleanup, as I like to call it. After the storms, after the vandalism, we've tidied things up. We got rid of a lot of the broken glass, cleared up a lot of the rubbish that was thrown around by the vandals, a lot of the wooden prunings and stuff that the vandals had thrown around. Basically just started the big spring cleanup down on the allotment. After spending a whole day there, I feel so much better for it. Feels like a huge weight is off my mind now that the allotment is just almost ready to go. Got to do a bit more weeding and a bit more bits during this week. Saturday, spent the day at home again, Roxy and I in the garden, and we've continued with this spring cleanup. We've given our lawn the first cut for the year, chopping up a lot of the debris and stuff that we tend to try and chop up with a lawnmower to make our good compost. So that's all ready to go. I've added a fence around one of the beds to keep the Roxy and the chickens off the bed once that's full of plants, full of our vegetables, because they will dig everything up. And I have potted up my first of my patio fruit trees, something that we discussed a few weeks ago on this very live show. So that's what I have been up to. Let me know in the comments what you have been up to yourselves. So, Turbo Stream this week was mostly mulching and burrowing leaves on the plot. I know Turbo Stream, I think you seem to do that quite a bit. You get a good supply of leaves, which, why not use them as a mulch? They're there, they are there to be used. I did see, who was it? Chili Kate, who said it was such a beautiful day. Got to completely agree. Thursday was absolutely beautiful. Yesterday was absolutely beautiful. Today, the morning was a bit rubbish, but it got better and turned into a beautiful afternoon. So very, very happy with the way this weather has gone. Turbo Stream, this weekend I've been shredding prunings and making kindling for my log burner for next winter. Very, very important job. Nicola Cornish Heaven, evening, Richard and all. Hope you are well, Nicola. Lovely to see you. Jenny Hallett is saying she's still sowing, compost ordering, and potting on for me. Funny enough, I was just thinking about compost earlier today and how I should go and get some more. I think last year I bulk bought a lot of compost to have at the allotment, or actually to have at home, so I can pop things up. But it never quite worked to plan. I can hear a noise just outside this door, so let me just see if somebody's going to come in. Are you coming in? Don't know if she is or not. But yeah, the compost is bulk bought it last year. I debated about doing it again this year and just never got round to it. Plus, I'm struggling with room. I've got so much work going on in my house at the moment that the garden is becoming a bit of a dumping ground. I can hear a noise, but I can't see her. Sean James Cameron, good evening to you. In search of the good life. Beautiful weekend here in London. We are ending it with a red sky. So the week ahead it looks even more beautiful. I can't see the sky out there. It looks blue. So yeah, hopefully we're going to have better weather this week. We have a massive pile of leaves at the bottom of the gate. Nobody else seems to want to use them, so I'm filling every bin I can for leaf mulch and mulching. I mean, leaves are a great source. So great. Why not use them is what I say. Sean, great to see you this week, Richard, on Wednesday. It was lovely to see you too, Sean. Sorry I couldn't catch up properly. It's such a hectic, busy day, but more on that in just a moment. Lisa from Not Just Green Fingers UK blog. Today I put my new fruit cage made of old gazebo posts and bird netting. Something out of nothing. That's always the best thing to do, isn't it? I found when we were in that first lockdown that I just made use of what I had lying around and it was really worth it. Saved me an absolute fortune. And best of all, it was materials that I had ready. And I built so much. So there's a lot to be said for it. Rebecca says, I've sown a few more carrots and very much like yourself, started tidying everything up. It feels like that time of year is now here. It's time to really start tidying things up and get on with it, isn't it? I certainly feel for one, spring is definitely here. Daffodils at the moment are looking absolutely beautiful, and the tulips are just coming in as well. So it's good to see. Stuart Jackson, yesterday I did my first sale of the year, £193 raised for the brain tumour charity. Today, potted on aubergines, chilies and sweet peppers. £193 in one day. Fantastic, Stuart. All for brain tumour charity. For those that don't know, Stuart sells a lot of plants outside his home for the brain tumour charity. Last year, he kept us updated with how much he was bringing in, and hopefully this year he's going to do the same. Chili Kate, for now, I've got my small garden cleared, the second raised bed together with the last of the parsnip and carrots, a bit of tree trimming and sowing tomatoes and herbs. Fantastic. I always think there's something about small gardens. I love a small garden now. I've got a far too big garden these days, but I do love a small garden because I feel like it concentrates your efforts more. Turbo Stream, mostly cloudy skies in Birmingham. Nicola, I bought 116 bags of organic compost, 50 litres, for £1 a bag. Absolute bargain, isn't it? £1 a bag. I would be buying a lot of that at that price. Kate Spratt, I'm getting some compost. I read that it's good to put some at the bottom of trenches for potatoes. Is that a good idea for when I plant next weekend? Got my polytunnel up yesterday, but wasn't well today, so I had to rest up, which was boring. Understandable, because you sent me the message earlier. I know you've had a migraine. I hope you're feeling better now, by the way. Yeah, I don't put compost on the bottom of my potatoes. I tend to put them in a hole and then build the compost up. But that being said, if a potato is going to be growing and its roots are going to go down, it's going to need nutrients in the compost where that potato is. So I think it is a good idea, in fairness, to put at the bottom of the trench. Ask anybody else out there what they think on that. Do you put compost on the bottom of the trenches for your potatoes? Kate says, well done, Stuart. And Turbo Stream, I did a few main crop seed potatoes and grabbed a few mushroom trays to grow my salad leaves in. Talking of planting seed potatoes, I noticed some volunteer potatoes had started to sprout yesterday. So I think I normally will be potting my potatoes in next weekend around the 17th. So logically thinking, I think it's going to be safe because if they are naturally starting to sprout in the ground. So good sign that the weather is on our side. Although, of course, it can all go wrong. We have fields of daffs here. Absolutely lovely. And Digwell Greenfingers, late tonight, had to rush outside to get all the seedlings in as the heavens has just opened up. Well, it looks dry here is all I can say. Right, I'm going to change things up slightly this week. I'm going to bring up the photos. Keep letting me know what you've been up to in your own allotments, your own vegetable gardens, your own gardens in the comments. But I'm going to bring up the photos quickly from what I've received over this last week because we've got a lot to get through this evening. So Kate, who is watching tonight, she's been potting up a polytunnel this week. As you can see, that's a pretty good, decent-looking polytunnel. But she says she's 4'10", not 20 like I've written in there. Apologies. It makes it a bit of a challenge to reach the poles. But she's improvised. I think health and safety might have something to say on that, but I won't say anything if you don't. But here she is. She's got the polytunnel built and finished and is looking rather proud of it being built. Well done. Very much well done. She did add that her rhubarb has started to grow as well. I've noticed our rhubarb is starting to grow, and we've been eating rhubarb tonight as well, dare I say it. Does seem slightly early for rhubarb, but I'm not complaining. Richard, who I did see earlier, he has given this pack that he found on Amazon for £9 to try this year, and hopefully he's going to let us know how he gets on with it throughout the year. And finally, Ian has been getting plants home safely, added into what the health and safety thing we said earlier. Come on, we all have done it, haven't we? We've all seatbelted up our plants after buying them in a supermarket, in a garden centre. Excuse me, sorry, to get them home. So please do keep sharing your photos. You can send them to me in our Facebook group via email, richard@thevegetgroundpodcast.co.uk, or via social media. Just reach out in any way you feel fit. I'm just going to have a quick swig of drink. Just clear my throat slightly. Well, let's have a quick look at the comments. Sorry, I don't mean to be rushing, if I am, but a lot of things I want to talk about tonight. Kate, do you guys put any kind of fleece or netting over the potatoes? Wasn't sure if that was needed. So I don't, unless I get the weather forecast, it's suddenly going to get hit with a frost. But I live in somewhere where we get very mild weather, so I can get away with it a bit better than most people. I would say if you are a bit further north, then it will not do any harm to keep a bit of fleece over, just to protect the potatoes from the cold. On the whole, I think they should be okay, but if we do get a sudden cold snap, which can happen, I think last year we had one about May, if I remember correctly, where it can happen and that can cause a bit of problem. Again, we'll leave that to everyone else in the comments to see. Nicola, I have some pots left over from last year and they have broken the soil in the 30-litre black buckets. I have some pots from last year and they have broken the soil in the 30-litre black buckets. Do you mean those black buckets have sort of disintegrated in the sun and fallen into the soil? Is that what you're saying there, Nicola? Sorry. I might be reading that incorrectly. Right, I'm just going to close that door quickly because oh no, be all right. So, keep letting us know in the comments. You can call in 07307 135 174, or you can zap in. Let's pull that up. If you want to zap in, the link is going up in the comments right now. So, Wednesday, I'm just hearing Roxy bark at the chickens. This whole thing that she goes through at the moment. Wednesday, I went to a gardening press event. It usually goes every year, been for a few years running now. And it's a chance for people to showcase new products that are on the market to the press and get to see what's going on. One of the things I love about it is that we get to see people. And there's many people I haven't seen for quite a while, which was always good. Obviously, the last 2 years with COVID, to actually see people in the flesh is always good. First of all, Bally said, because my plot is not near home, I use fleece over my potatoes till the first weekend in June in Belfast. So that for Kate, there you go. Ballysilian does use fleece until the first weekend in June. Nicola, I tried sending 3 short videos by email and then Facebook, and they wouldn't go through. Try sending via WeTransfer.com. That's probably the easiest way, or message me and we'll sort something out. But WeTransfer.com is the easiest way to get photos, or videos, much more reliable. Anyway, as I said, I met up with a few people over this event. I've only shared a snap view, but if anybody can tell me who this person is, I'm sure some of you will know, and we'll have a bit of fun, bit of laugh at the beginning. I've got 3 photos. So the first person, can you tell me who this is? While we wait for a comment to come in on that. Digwell says, I fleece my spuds if frost is forecast and they are above the soil level. So yes, like Digwell, I do the similar sort of thing. If we've got frost, I will fleece my potatoes. But obviously, as potatoes grow, and you pile up the soil, Digwell also fleeces them as well. Anna Jones is straight in there with Lee. Correct answer. Yeah, that is Lee Connolly, aka the Skinny Jean Gardener. This explains the haircut, Richard. Yes, I did have to have my haircut just to make sure it was ready to go for this event. Hello, Adrian. Hope you are well. Lovely to see you. And Stuart Jackson, Skinny Jean Gardener. Indeed. So the next photo I have for you, can anybody tell me who this guy is? Some of you might recognise him. Obviously, I could be here all night if nobody recognises him. Again, somebody else I've seen quite a few. I haven't seen him for a couple of years now, but it's always good to catch up with this guy. Very, very interesting bloke. Knows his garden, knows his plants, I should say. Really, really interesting bloke. So let's have a look. Oracle says it's not me. Indeed, it's not you. Rebecca, I plant in pots, so always keep my spuds in a greenhouse. My frost date is the end of May, so can't risk it. Anne White says the Plant Geek. Correct, it is Mr. Plant Geek. And Rebecca says, is it the Plant Geek from QVC? It is indeed. It is indeed Michael Perry, the Plant Geek. Everyone's calling him Plant Geek. It is indeed Michael Perry, aka the Plant Geek, who QVC host. I can't remember. He's done quite a bit of TV work. Steph's Packed Lunch, I think, he's on as well from time to time. A very interesting bloke. Really does know his plants, and his weird and wacky plant show is really cool as well. Now, the final photo. Can you tell me who this person is? Again, a very, very good friend of mine, somebody I'm sure many of you will know. I know he was in the audience earlier. A very interesting bloke, really knows his stuff on his allotments. So over to you guys. Let me know. Guy of QVC. Yep, Michael Perry, the guy of QVC. I'm just going to have a swig of this drink. And there we go. And there we go. Digwell got in there first with Nigel. Nigel, we're from Ballycillian. Turbo Stream, not heard of a Plant Geek, but I don't watch TV anymore. No, I don't watch TV anymore, to be fair, to the point we actually almost got rid of our TV license. Anna Jones, Muddy Boots, yep. Hargrave Gas, Nigel. Oracle, the man, the myth, the legend, Muddy Boots. Muddy Boots from Jenny Hullett. Oracle says he's the godfather. Muddy Boots from just up the road in Wolverhampton from Turbo Stream. And there you go, Nigel. You were more famous than the Plant Geek. I had a feeling more people would recognise him than Plant Geek. So there you go. Hello from Ian Beddoes. Didn't get a notification tonight. Oh, well, that's weird. I don't know what happened there then. Right. So that is a few of the people. There are a lot more people that I met. It was just such a busy, chaotic day. It was difficult to keep up with everyone. So much going on. So much going on. Let's just come back to the photos in just a moment. Adrian, although I am recovering from the op, I do not really feel any better despite everyone saying it will be marvellous afterwards. Still feeling lightheaded. I think I'm just buggered. Adrian, you take care. You look after yourself. You've had serious surgery. You just look after yourself. That's all that we care about, is you take it easy, my friend. I know it's not easy when you're on a farm like you are, but please do take it easy. Right. Where do we start? I'll go back to the photos first, actually. That might be better. We'll start with a photo. So this is a product that I found on one stall. And nice little pair of welly boots. And this was on Milwaukee. And I had a play with them. They felt nice and comfortable. Unfortunately, I'm a size 12, so they don't do them in my size. They only go up to size 10.5, which meant I couldn't buy them. But what I liked is that the top seems to be almost like it seals off the top. So, you know, when you stand in a puddle in welly boots and there's always that splash that lands and goes inside your boot, that's not likely to happen on that, in my opinion, anyway. But I was quite impressed with that. Jenny Hallett says, did you meet Mike Palmer, aka Mike the Gardener? I did see him. Unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to chat to him. There's so many people, so many things going on that it was very, very tricky. It was the Joff Elphick from another podcast, which name escapes me. He was there as well. I saw him. Yeah, I think that's the comments. So, yeah, I thought that was an interesting pair of welly boots. I like the way they cover over. Now, Milwaukee are obviously well known for their hori knives, which I've got a hori knife, which isn't in here at the moment. But they've upgraded this version with a serrated edge as well, which is more closer to a hori knife, a traditional hori knife anyway. But they also do this little toolbox, which I quite like the idea of. Typical Japanese toolbox. And you're not going to lose out on the allotment, are you? Beautiful, bright yellow colour. Again, I think it comes in different colours. But interesting ideas that they had going on there. Just seeing this from Diggrass. Size 12. They're not feet, they are canal barges. Size 12 is a problem, believe it or not, to get hold of shoes. I have a lot of trouble finding things. Digwell, I can't talk. I'm a 12 as well from Ballysydney. There we go. Somebody knows my pain. How annoying is it? You go out to buy a pair of shoes and they don't ever do them in your size. Always annoying. Always annoying. Jenny Hullett, Hori Hori are the best thing ever. Absolute game changer. I gotta admit, I do love my Hori Hori knife. I have it on my belt quite often. It's a great tool just to have available. For those that don't know, Hori Hori is a Japanese knife that doubles up as almost like a dig-in tool. It's got a great number of different uses. A very, very useful tool to have on your belt. And I absolutely love my Hori Hori. So very, very good to see. Oracle saying 12, Richard. What size are you? I'm size 12 as well. So yeah, I feel your pain. I feel your pain when it comes to size 12 shoes. Now, this product was, I thought, quite interesting. Now, I didn't find out how much this was because I can imagine this being expensive. But this product, it's basically a Amazon delivery storage box. So if you have Amazon delivered to your house, it can be stored in here as somewhere discreet, somewhere that looks, well, I thought it looked quite good. They did a similar thing with bin stores and what have you. May not be everyone's cup of tea, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of people that will say they can build their own. But it was there. It was at this event, so I've got to say I was intrigued by it. Oh, these are brilliant. These are absolutely brilliant. I've got to find something to go with these. We'll come to the bags in a minute, actually. So these are natural rubber seed trays. So they're reusable, washable, can be used several times. And they do them in like the Hackney root trainer style, which also open up like that. And I was really impressed with these, I've got to say. Again, they felt like they were going to last a while. I had to look online and they weren't. I didn't think they were too badly priced at $15.99. The guy on the stall said he's had his for about 8 years. You know, obviously, salesmen do tend to embellish things, shall we say, but I don't have any doubt to doubt it. I thought for $15.99, a little bit on the pricey side compared to something you might get from Wilkinson's or somewhere, but it's not plastic and it's going to last quite a while. So I was really, really impressed with these rubber things, and the rubber just felt really decent as well. So yeah, seed trays and getting your seeds off to a great start. I thought, great idea. I believe that actually won the product of the day there. So really quite intrigued with what it goes on. Let's have a quick look at the comments. Andrew Norris has joined. Greetings from Croatia. Lovely and sunny day, but -3 at night. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that does sound cold. We had last Saturday, we actually had a promise of snow, believe it or not. Hori Hori, Swiss Army or Leatherman of the Garden World. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the Wacky, I believe, are the originals. So I really do like my Nowaki, or however you may pronounce it, Hori Hori knife. And I think a lot of people love their Hori Hori knives. Oracle, we can move about the allotment like the Pink Panther, always stand on something. Yes, yes. I think that's why I also get so annoyed when I don't have enough space on the paths to squeeze through things, because my feet get in the way. Yeah. Digwell says 8 years. How come we've never seen them on the market then? That is a very good point. They come from a company called Wildlife.uk, I believe it was. I'll check it out in a minute. But yeah, why have we not seen them on the market if they've had them for 8 years? It may be they've been testing them out for all I know. But I was quite impressed with the product. Even if you only get a few years out of it, it's not plastic. And I know plastic is a good source, but when it breaks and goes brittle, it becomes a bit of a problem. Plus, rubber is natural. They look like silicone muffin trays. They do, actually, yes. It's probably quite a close thing to compare it to. Right, back to some of these products. Now, this was quite an interesting idea. I did really like this actually. Again, I didn't find out how much it was. I can see it being quite a pricey thing. But this is a raised planter, but it incorporates areas for wildlife. So underneath was a hedgehog house. We've got a bee hive on the side. We've got butterfly home on it as well. So it was all built in one. I like the idea. I thought it was a good way, especially for schools and things like that, or on streets or in city centres and places like that, as a way of bringing in nature, giving nature a home while also adding plants. I really liked it. So yeah. Oh yeah, really like this item. They did them in several different sizes as well, but this was the one that they were particularly showcasing. Now, I've just seen that Money Boots on that. Let's get rid of that. The rubber seed trays. The guy who designed them is German. He has only just got funding for production, so that answers that. That explains why. That explains how we got 8 years out of it. So there we go. Nikki Chapman, hello from Devon, just moved, so starting a new veg plot again. Good luck with your new veg plot. Please do share some photos of how you get on. Keep us posted with how you get on with it as well. Turbo Stream, this year there are clear recycled plastic seed trays. I noticed the other day the rubber ones would be better if made from old tyres. Well, this rubber is actually made from a natural rubber tree, as I understand it. So I know what you're saying about old tyres, but at the same point, this is natural rubber. So I quite like it anyway. Jenny, oh, I love the raised planter. Great idea. Will be great to encourage insects to eat the pest. Exactly right. That's how I felt with it. Incorporating them all into one bed. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that can say, I can build that myself. Of course, if you can build it, go ahead and build it. Not everybody is perhaps that skilled. And again, I didn't find out how much they are, but I was quite intrigued with them. Good question. Oracle says, I understand these picks. How many are British made? I believe quite a few of them are British made. It's a difficult one to answer that because there's so much going through my head, and I didn't make all the notes, but these are aimed at the British market. I can think of several actually that I haven't featured tonight that aren't UK based. Let's have a look at another photo. Oh, now this was cool. This was absolutely awesome. It's a robot lawnmower. Now, I like mowing the lawn. I generally do like mowing the lawn. So this wasn't really what I was going to be buying myself. But what makes this unique is it doesn't need a wire running around your garden. It can be done just based on your own garden. So very easy to do. I didn't find out the price on these, but I think they're going to be very expensive, very futuristic. Probably for somebody who doesn't like mowing their lawn or has a busy lifestyle. But I like mowing my lawn, so not for me. This was another idea. Now, this is from Hoselock, and it's basically a tumbler composter in single form, fairly decent size to be discreet. Could probably fit it on a patio if you have a little outdoor space, or even a flat balcony if you also have little outdoor space. I would say that's probably 2 foot by 2 foot floor space. Takes in quite a bit of compost and produces compost at the end of the day as well. So yeah, I quite liked that as well. I've wanted a tumbler composter for a while in my garden to see if they really work, but the ones that I've seen in the past are quite big, and I just felt that takes up too much space. This one being a bit more smaller, probably a bit easier to turn it as well, I quite like too. And finally, I know this is the last picture, from Westlands, this all-purpose liquid plant food, and it claims to have 4 times more blooms. I tell you what, come back to that in just a moment because I've got quite a few comments that have came in during that. Westlands had got the clear ones in display, also root trainer types that are individual self-standing. These are about, I think Turbo Stream asked about the recycled plastic, which, yes, Westlands had some clear and green ones and root trainer ones from recycled plastic. I was going to get into that in just a moment. Stuart Jackson, pop more broad beans out in the veg patch, as well as some autumn blissed raspberries that I was given for free. Excellent. Well, good show, Stuart. It seems a better use of old plastic bottles, Nigel. Yeah, I agree. Although I'd sooner a plastic bottle gets reused as a plastic bottle, in my opinion. Jenny Hallett, were there any new products for disabled or people with limited ability apart from the mower? Seems to be a huge gap in the market. I'm trying to think. I can't say I really saw any specifically aimed at people in the disabled market that I can think off the top of my head. But obviously, yeah, I can't think of any. I cannot think of any that I saw off the top of my head. But I would say personally, and I don't know much about this to be fair, but things like the rubber trays, I could see that being used easily as well. I don't know. Nigel and Sean was there. Did they see anything? Be good to find out. Kate wants the robo mower. And Ian Beddoes says, how did the sale go, Stuart? He raised nearly £200 yesterday, I believe it was. So, yeah, I was going to talk about this Westland Boost, which I got a bit of a bag from Westlands, which, oh, what have we got in here? Got this, what is it? Corkscrew weeder. That's going to be useful. Notebook from them. Some seeds, if I remember correctly. Peat-free compost, what they call compost discs. What else? And a tub of this Westlands plant boost. So it's going to be a chance for me to see how well this feed and gets on, and if it does live up to the claims of 4 times more blooms. Having a quick look on the back, it's rich in seaweed for healthy growth, easier and faster to water with minimal surface runoff, no waste. How can that work? All nutrients available for the plant and nutrients optimized for all plants. So it's a good all-in-one. Just having a look at the NPK. The NPK is 6. That doesn't make much sense, actually. It's in numbers I'm not familiar with. 6.0-1, 31-7.99. That's not making much sense at all in that way. But looking at it, I would say that's quite a high in phosphorus. Looking at that. Those numbers are really all over the space. I'll show you what I mean. I don't know if won't be able to pick it up. I'll tell you what I can do. I might be able to pick it up on here. You can see just here, the NPK is a bit all over the place. You might see it better like that, thinking about it. Oh God, it's getting tricky using that overhead camera to try and picture it right. But yeah, that does seem a little bit confusing with that NPK like that. Should say I've been drinking out of this while a dashing jam jar mug, which came from the HTA, the hub, and it had smoothie in it. Now, this is bringing awareness to National Children's Gardening Week, which is an event coming up. I don't know if anybody out there is involved with schools or has children. Might be worth checking out HTA website or check out the National Children's Gardening Week and see if you can get involved in that. I'm going to have a swig of this quickly. There's a bit of an idea of something that might be of some interest to you. What else have we got in here? I got no bag of this stuff. So, grazers, slug and snail. Now, this is meant to be natural slug and snail prevention in order to stop our slugs and snails eating our crops, as you know they do. But they said it's not organic and it can't be sold as organic. So that kind of put me off because I'm not keen on it. I prefer to be organic. It's pollinator friendly, however. Works. Shall I bring the overhead camera up again? Anybody still out there? I haven't seen the comments go up for a second. So yeah, it works on all green growth, safe to apply on edible and ornamental plants, and natural balance, pollinator friendly, pest friendly, people and pet friendly. So it doesn't harm anything, which is great. I'll try and see if it does. It doesn't say what it's actually made of in there. There we go. So NPK 639.5 with magnesium and iron. That's not what it says, though. That's not what it says. It's 6.0 6.0-1.31-7.99. Oh, 1.31, 7.99. That I got my head around it now. Got my head around it, yeah. Got my head around it. Sorry, I didn't bring that up. What else was there? Now this is pretty cool. I meant to fill up a bottle of water to test this with. So this is as you know, when I grow my seeds, I start my seeds off, I tend to like to spray with water as opposed to watering from a watering can. I find that's just a bit more efficient and doesn't delodge the seeds from their area very well. Now, one of my annoyances when it comes to using a spray bottle is when you sort of get towards the end and you're tilting it up to get it under a shelf or wherever, you've still got about an inch or so left of water in it, but yet it's not getting it. Well, this is meant to stop it from happening. Hang on, it's missing something, I think. So these are meant to, when they go in, and this is from a company called Defenders. The idea being, when you twist it up, it has this sort of weights down and goes into the water, stays in the water due to its weight on this bottom of this bit, which I think is going to work better. So you can almost turn it upside down or like that to use it, and it'll still catch water. I thought that was a really nifty idea and something that solves one of my worst annoyances with using a spray bottle. Although I'm not sure where that's gone. Silly, we are still here. You have our full attention. Thank you. I just get worried from time to time if connection goes. I use all the Grazer's product. It is calcium rich, which upsets the slugs. That's what they said. They said it's calcium rich. It upsets all the slugs. It doesn't harm wildlife. So I don't think that's a good thing. Just the fact that they couldn't call it organic did worry me slightly. Adrian says, I'm now 19 weeks dry. Good, well done for you, buddy. Very well done. Jenny Hallett, I personally don't like those slug and snail, etc. treatments. I have lots of box ponds for frogs and have hedgehogs, etc. Not against anyone else using them, but not for me. 100% as nature for me. I'm with you on that. I am with you on that. I much prefer to encourage birds into my garden to tackle the slugs and snails. But there are... I kind of feel if this isn't going to harm if it's going to keep slugs and snails off while not harming wildlife as well, then it might also just go. I prefer natural get my words out, hedgehogs as well. Haven't seen my hedgehog for a while. Tyres from cars, lorries, etc. are mostly synthetic and will leach nasty chemicals if used for rubber grow trays or just as is as planters. Yeah, that's why I like the natural rubber trays. Gary says that would explain why people used to use eggshells against slugs. Good to know. Oh yeah, about the calcium. Yes, that does explain a lot, doesn't it? It was a hand spray that works upside down. The tube had a heavy spring attached. Yes, that's what I liked about it. I thought they said this comes with it as well. That works upside down. I think their backpacks and everything else that they did as well also has that. But I liked the idea because it had this heavy spring, this heavy ball bearing, I think they called it to me, to hold it down into the water. But I thought that was a pretty cool idea. What else? My connection went down, the useless internet. Grazers work by the slugs eating it and feeling ill. And I guess if they're eating calcium, it's not going to harm anything else. Now, just trying to think, what else have we got in here? Yes, I mentioned those natural seed trays earlier. They gave me this rubber ducky who I think we're going to have to find somewhere to go in here. Say goodbye to plastic. Enjoy bath time with your very own ethically produced, sustainable real rubber duck with a thingy there. Let's put him up there for now. I think we'll move him around each week and try and see if anybody can spot where he is each week. Correction, 22 weeks drive. Very well done. Dig well. That's how a chainsaw petrol suction tube works in its tank. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly the idea with this sort of thing. It is annoying, I find, anyway, when you do use those spray bottles upside down or trying to get that last bit of water and it just won't do it. And you just get that of air. Mug from Perennial, bamboo mug that feels like to me. Perennial are a fantastic company, actually. I did raised some money for them a few years ago. They help people in horticulture who fall on bad times. Perennial.org, I think their website is perennial.org.uk if anybody is interested in that. Trying to think what are the different products we got that are interesting. Yes, I think this is going to be the last one tonight. So Natural Grow all-purpose feed. So these are almost look like chicken pellets. Let's open them up and see. Let's open the bag up and I'll show you on the overhead camera what these look like. Let's bring up the overhead camera. So to me they look a bit like chicken manure pellets or my straw pellets that I use for mulching. But meant to be a good plant feed from what the people have said to me. Natural grow pellets, natural bioactive, containing macro and micronutrients plus beneficial bacteria that help plants grow stronger and resist disease. We sow, grow and harvest energy crops from our farm in Cambridgeshire. So it's a UK based. Somebody was asking about that earlier. Well, they are then fed into anaerobic digesters. The process generates gas and electricity, which supplies the national grid with green energy. Yes, I remember chatting to them, and they said that their farm, basically every single part is used. They'll cut the straw, the grain, or whatever it was. In fact, I've just read on this. The NPK on this 8310 natragrow.co.uk. So they were burning biodynamic fuels to dry all this product out. It's a full-on peat-free soil improver that uses everything in the farm to produce it. So we're hoping actually to go up there and visit their farm and see how it all goes together. Just a load of paperwork now, apart from this pen, carrot pen, so it goes in with my theme. They came from people who they've created a book that you can plant and grow into flowers, a kid's book that you can plant and grow into flowers. Again, genius idea. Makes you think. So yeah, I think that kind of summarizes a few of the products that I've seen at this event from the weekend. Graham, has anyone tried the seaweed compost from Aldi? I think it's about £3.50 for 50 litres. Is it any good? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, hiccup and cough at the same time. I've not seen the seaweed compost from Aldi, but that's last year I bought some compost from there, peat-free compost, and it was the worst compost I've ever used, in all honesty. I'm a bit pot off from using Aldi for that very reason, because it was so poor last year. Nothing grew in that compost. I don't know if that was just me, but that's why I think I said before, this year I'm experimenting with different composts. That reminds me, there was a company, what was it called? I'm trying to remember now. The Real Soil Company. And they are selling its topsoil. It's not compost, they call it topsoil. With added nutrients. And I saw these out of the day. They showed us the leading topsoil, which was very sandy, and then their topsoil. And then they do this vegetable and topsoil mix for vegetable gardens. It looked really quite. You could see the difference. Their stuff just looked so much more blacker, so much more better quality than what they claim to be the leading. Obviously, I don't know who the topsoil competitor was. But it did look quite interesting. That's the Real Soil Company as well. I knew there was one more item that I noted. So yes, a lot of compost companies. Nothing really changed there, I gotta say. So over to you guys. What products are out of that list, or any others that you have seen, are you liking and wanting to see you in use this year? I've just added the link if you want to zap yourself in, and if you want to call in 07307 135 174, the number is running across the bottom of the screen. Please can you remind us about the code on the back of the packs? The LD peat-free compost is full of plastic, glass and big stones. It may be cheap, but you have to watch out if you don't wear gloves. Yeah, I was really disappointed with the LD peat-free stuff. I wouldn't normally buy it. I was running home from work and I decided to buy it. And I wish I never did. It just looked like it had sand and clay and stones in it. It was awful. Please, can you remind us about the code on the back of the packs? Are you talking about the NPK? NPK on the back of the packs? Is that what you mean, Stuart? So NPK is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are the three key elements that the plant needs to grow in its feed and fertilizer, which is what we're trying to add to them. The higher the NPK, or the higher the numbers in that particular order, the higher the ratio is. So where was that one that was something like 8, 10, and 3 or something? So that's quite high in nitrogen, quite high in phosphorus, but low in potassium. So that's what I think. That's what you mean, anyway, Stuart, by NPK. With all the bags of compost that's sold each year, where does it come from? Good question. So it comes from a variety of sources, depending on where what the company is. Some might take green waste from your council and turn that into compost. Some might produce their own green materials in order to turn into compost, and they're generally the better ones. If they peat based compost, which are being phased out as I understand it, used to also incorporate peat from peat bogs, which I would dig up and add in. But basically, yeah, it's a mixture of growing green materials, chopping it up and putting it through a thing, etc., in order to produce compost. That's it's a very complicated thing to describe and talk about off the top of my head. Something we have to go through. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and like, everyone. Yeah, please do give us a thumbs up, a like, and all that. And more importantly, oh good, we have a caller. Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Richard. It's Nicola from Cornwall.
Hello, Nicola. How are you today?
Yeah, I had some good news today. I've got 28 days and then I'm going to get my greener camping site certificate so I can have some jolly old campers on my farm.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Well, we will have to make a trip down there one day and go camping.
I've sort of taken on too much because obviously I want to get the veg garden going. I've got that all to terrace. I've got a commercial polytunnel to go in. And on top of that, just to make life a little bit more exciting, we're going to have a campsite.
Yeah, of course. So you've been watching all night, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was about 5 minutes late.
Okay, but yeah, that's why we hadn't got into these products. What products that I've shown you tonight has piqued your interest?
Well, I've already seen those rubber trays, which obviously is better that they're made out of. It would be good if we could use tyres, but because they're synthetic, this is why they don't recommend that you actually use them for growing vegetables in anymore, because they're not actually made from proper rubber any.
Yeah.
So they leach all the nasty chemicals out. So I really like those.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking cost-wise, that's quite a lot for a tray, 15 quid, when you can go to, I've forgotten the company that does all the plastic trays that most people recommend that are hard-wearing, that are like 5 quid.
Yeah. It's quite a bit more. It is quite a bit more money, but I didn't think they were outrageously expensive.
I really like that they've got the root trainers in it though, so I could be tempted with those to try one of those.
Yeah.
But then toilet rolls are a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. Or the newspapers are even cheaper.
Yeah, but it's getting hold of newspapers these days because not many people have newspapers.
Oh, we get one posted through our letterbox every week from the church, which we don't read, and we could use that.
I must say, I've got my dad's collecting his. He has he's of that age where they have daily papers, and he hasn't got out of the habit. So I've now got him collecting all his daily papers, which, because I nip up to Sussex 3-4 times a year, they're put to one side, and then I haul them back down to Cornwall. So
fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic.
But it's lovely. I've opened up my small mini greenhouses where I've put in some blueberry bushes that I did last year. I think I told you I potted them on. I've got 18 that I bought, and some mulberry and some other bits and pieces, and it's all got this new green leaf coming through, and that's what yes, you've got your spring flowers, and yes, I see the daffodils out which I've never seen before, because obviously I've never seen anywhere in Sussex have fields of daffodils, but it's just like, it's coming. It's just ready to go, and you've got your evenings, and it's not getting dark till about 6:15, and in 2 weeks' time it'll be an extra hour and a bit, won't it? So
yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? It's this time of year is just so exciting and full.
And I've run out of windowsills.
Oh, that's normal. That's normal. Who hasn't? Who in the audience hasn't run out of windowsills at the moment?
Well, I've got one of those gate leg tables, and that's 2 empty potting compost bags with I tell you what is good. If anybody goes to IKEA, is their boot trays. I think they're £2.50 each. They're not as big as a grow tray, but they're great for seedlings because they're shallower, so that you can't overwater so they don't get waterlogged.
Oh, that's
But
interesting.
I've got 6 trays of meters on them at the moment.
Interesting. That's an idea. There we go.
Well, they're just, and IKEA's postage isn't too expensive.
No.
And if you play around with, say you wanted 20, and it might jump into the next postage bracket, what you do is you sort of discount your numbers of trays until you get back into the lower one.
Right.
And
yeah.
sometimes it's only like 1 or 2 trays, so you get as much cent weight wise for the cost. And I think their minimum for stuff like that is about $4.95.
Sure. Yeah. I've always gone into IKEA. I've never ordered, so yeah.
But I've just, as we've been talking and viewing, I got some children's like little dome tents. They were in Aldi's in their clearance last year.
Yeah.
I think they were £2.50, and they had mini cucumbers, and there was 9 seeds in there, which I thought was good, and lettuce and strawberries. Well, I don't know if I'll bother doing the strawberries, but I thought actually it was worth getting it just for the seeds.
Yeah.
And the growing medium was very good quality with a lot of vermiculite in it. So I just set them up and walked them through to the bathroom as I was listening on the phone.
Oh, well, good to hear you're still gardening at the same time.
Oh, well, you've got to make use of your time, haven't you?
Absolutely. Trust me, if I wasn't hosting this show, I would be gardening at the moment as well. So,
but it's getting dark now, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, I did try and send 3 short videos because my internet is so terrible here. I think I could hand deliver a letter quicker than it takes to get through. Right. Our internet is just rubbish.
Yeah. Well, send me an email and we'll sort that out.
All right, lovely.
Yeah. Okay, lovely.
All right.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot, Richard.
Thank you, Nicola. Bye.
Bye.
There we go, all the way from Cornwall. There's quite a few comments came in during that. Let's have a quick look. So, Digwell, Levington Essentials is the same, poor quality, nail, trellis, fencing stones in my last bag. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of things going on with compost at the moment. Money Mix, the only issue I could see with rubber cell trays is they would be better based around the typical full and half-size seed trays. They were unusual dimensions. Yes, I did notice that. There were slightly different dimensions, but then I don't typically worry too much about that. Digwell, council collections is used for mostly cheap compost these days. Absolutely. I think that was Ian who was asking about that. Jenny Hallett, Primrose online do good peat-free, which can be purchased by the bag or by a ton. Horizon do a great one with perlite in. Yes, Horizon is one I'm going to be trialing this year, actually. Kate, I recently tried Dalefoot Compost, uses wool. I'll see how that goes. They were a good company I chatted to on Wednesday as well. That's Fab News RE, the campsite. Not advertising, but I did a video on NPK, etc. a while back called 28th of October 2018, Fertilizer 101. I've also covered the NPK in podcasts as well, which is a bit easier to do when you can plan it out than thinking off the top of your head. Container-wise, for the longer-lasting plastic trays. Yeah, for a container, I can see why you'd want plastic, although I'd prefer terracotta personally. £15 broken down over 8 years is very cheap. May help justify the purchase. Yes, that's the way I look at it. If it does last 8 years, and that's just not the salesman tactics, or it may even last longer than 8 years. My plastic, even my root trainers, they've started to fall apart, and they're not young. They're I don't know how old they are now. They're probably 5-6 years now, and they're starting to fall apart, so a little bit disappointing. Digram, not all toilet rolls are suitable for sewing as they don't rot very quickly, indeed. Richard Vobes, good evening to you. Hope you are well. And Julia. Stuart Jackson, I always use all the junk mail to make pots. Yes, that's exactly what I thought of when people said newspapers don't get many newspapers, but get a lot of junk mail. Get a lot of junk mail. Money Boots allotment, a bit like the CD60 tray then. Yes. Excuse me. Yeah. I would want a half-size sail tray. I can't take a full-size sail tray on my bike to the allotment. One reason I want to sow directly in the soil, understandably. Alison Bryan, good evening to you. Hope you are well. What's the difference between a sail tray and a root trainer? Right, so just having a look here. I've got, these are, I can bring it up. So these are my root trainers. Bit of styrofoam there, which, as you can see, they're starting to fall apart a bit now. You fold into that, you get about, I think, 8 of them in a tray. You fill with compost, you put your plants in the top, and they get a long area to grow for for roots, and that's what they call a root trainer. Now, have I got a half cell in here? Just trying to think. I probably have, but it's at the back of a cupboard because I tend to use my root trainers more. But the half cell, I'm trying to think, have I got any? Have I got any? Oh, what I did have somewhere. Here we go. Now, this is a quarter cell. Well, actually, it's not a quarter cell, but it's a quarter seed tray. And if it was half, it would be twice the size. A full size would be 4 times the size. But then, of course, you can get those that have like little plug plants, starting plug plants off with little dollops in them. Or dollops, that's not the right word. You know what I mean? They make little pots. That's what I would say is the difference. Counterwise claim to last 10 years for a £5 tray. I've never container-wise claimed, to last 10 years for a £5 tray, but that's pretty good, isn't it? It is very good. It's always that worry, for me, always that worry about plastic these days. I know plastic has been around and it's a good source, but what always worries me is when plastic goes brittle in the sun and it falls apart when you pick it up. I had it happen to me just the other day, and all those tiny little bits of plastic gets left in the soil. That's what annoys me about plastic. I don't mind using plastic. I think it's a perfectly good source, perfectly good material, but when it breaks down, and that's when I don't like it. A root trainer has ridges inside it to guide the roots downwards, indeed. Sean O'Brien, good evening to you. Hope you are well. My basil, parsley and chives are all grown well. From Richard Vobes, lovely. Lovely. I'll have to come around and have a look at them one day. Toberstream, I'm reusing the trays that I bought with pansy plants in them. I have so many pots that will be used many more times yet. Yes, I always reuse any pot that I get. I think that is so important. Although I have got a lot of pots at the moment. A lot of pots that I just got to try and get rid of at some point. When you use toilet rolls, newspapers as planting pots, do you keep the bottom open or bend it under? From Laura W. So you really want to bend it under, and so it makes like a pot. It's not difficult to do. I think Stuart once made us a video on how to make newspaper planting pots, which I might ask him very nicely. Stuart, can you make us a video again to show everyone how you make, how you make your paper planting pots, just so we can show them off. I have got, I'm trying to think where they are at the moment. I've got a paper pot maker. They're in here, aren't they? No, they're not in there. I meant to have everything to hand in here, and it never goes quite to plan. But yes, bend them under. With the toilet rolls, I like to make 4 slits in the bottom and then just fold them over like that. Nicola, who was just on the phone, I was always recommended that using loo rolls, make sure it is really wet before you plant them. I don't fold mine in for beans and peas, but sometimes I do for other seedlings. I've always folded them in. Because I always worry that the they're going to fall out the bottom, or the soil's just going to fall out as we go. That's the only reason I do it. But then once they're in the ground, they just rot away in the ground, in theory. I hate plastic, but unfortunately it's more affordable. I keep the broken pots, trays, etc. and use them for crocks in a flower planter. The horrible polystyrene as well, yeah. I mean, I use the polystyrene boxes for starting my leeks off, but the ones that I don't buy any, if I ever buy plants, I don't ever buy plants that come in polystyrene anymore, for that very reason. I've started using Koia pots for bigger plants. They are a bit pricey, but if you are careful, you can use them more than once. Yes to the video. Thank you. It's going to make the video paper pots. In fact, there was a Koia pots at the show the other day. I thought I got a sample from them, and I can't quite see it. But I'll see what I can do and test those out as well. I would buy a paper pot maker with my plastic pot when my plastic pots are worn out. I think my dad made a few. Well, I know he made a few paper pot makers. Skinny Jean Gardener, hello, mate. Koia pots are thumbs up, so indeed they are good. On that note, I think I started to mention it earlier, but please do give us a thumbs up. Please do give us a like. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. We do this live show every Sunday, 6 o'clock. And I've started putting the videos out again, getting back into those. Mainly on the YouTube channel, not so much on the Facebook at the moment. What are Koia pots? So Koia pots are basically pots that are made out of the coconut husk. You know, all that on the outer of a coconut, you get all that feathery. What do you call it? Well, it's called Koia. It's like hairy material. That's the word I was looking for. They take that and they mold that into pots. And Digwell's just going to be backing me up. Koia is not all that green, as it has to be shipped in. Container ships donate 3% of all CO2. And that is one of the arguments against Koia, and I do agree, because it's generally found in sort of around the equator where coconuts are. They do have to be shipped in Koia, and it's heavy stuff. It is heavy, but it is an alternative to plastic. I've also brought or found that some plants that I've brought that are in Koia pots are grown in Koia pots because they also air prune the roots. And what that is where the roots will try to grow through the Koia. Because there's only air there, they prune themselves on the roots and therefore don't grow through them. That's the idea. Gary says, yes, thank you for that. Excellent. I hope that answers that question about Koia. So I think, from judging from what everyone's saying, these rubber pots have got everyone a bit excited and or create the most talking point. That and a robo mower and the what was it called? Let me find a picture and I'll the Nature Arc. That's it. That seems to have got everybody interested, or got a bit of interest in. By the way, I've just added the link again if you want to zap yourself in on the comments, or you can call in on 07307 135 174. Ian Meadows, watching the 1940s farm, they were growing flax. Is that good for pots? I don't know about flax. I would imagine they used flax for clothing, so I would imagine it possibly could be used for pots. Horrible itchy stuff, wasn't it? But I don't know. I don't know on that. That's an interesting question. Jenny said, Digwell Green Fingers, absolutely 100%. I've used Koia that were gifted. Like that, they are peat-free and plastic-free. We need to find a substitute that is produced here. Hope you are well. I do agree. We do need to find a substitute that is produced in the UK. And I think there are more and more options out there. I mean, bamboo. I've got a bamboo. Somewhere I've got a plastic. Not plastic pot, but a plant pot made out of bamboo. But this, to me, that's made out of bamboo. Now, I know we don't associate UK with growing bamboo, but we can grow bamboo in the UK. So therefore, it's certainly possible that we could be growing bamboo to make pots and cups from. That's an alternative I've got straight off the top of my head. Now, we got about just under 15 minutes left of tonight's show. It's been great chatting to you as always. Next week, this is one that I think it was Graham who asked about it a few weeks ago, and it's been on our list as a subject. Companion plants. I want to know, what companion planting do you do? What companion plants do you grow, and why, in next week's show? If you can do a photo, if you can do a video, that'll be great. And of course, join in the conversation next week. Oh, we have a caller. Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Sean from London.
Hello, Sean. How are you?
I've got bamboo socks.
Bamboo socks.
I know somebody that actually grows their own pecans from bamboo.
Yes, my granddad, he used to have a bamboo patch in the bottom of his garden, and that he would use that for his bamboo supplies.
Those, what you call them, the rubber seed trays.
Yep. I'll bring those up on the screen.
Did you happen to find out the price of them?
They range let's see, I think it was the smaller ones were about $15.99 on their website.
I was just about to say, because I went on the internet when I got home, and I thought, surely they can't be £15 each.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was quite interested until I saw the price. And plus, I don't know if you get this. Rubber smells on your hands for hours.
I didn't get that. I'm just trying to think now. I've got one of their ducks. No, it doesn't seem to smell.
Oh, maybe it's just me, but I could smell it on my hands even on the next day.
Yeah, interesting. No, I can't say I can smell it, but I know what you mean by the smell of rubber. There is sometimes a bit of a hint, especially when it gets hot.
And I actually thought that the hole at the bottom was far too small.
Yes, yeah. Well, to the people who are watching, don't necessarily know what we're talking about there. There was 2 holes in this area, and on the bottom was a smaller hole.
Will you be getting any to try?
Getting it? What, these rubber trays?
Yeah.
I'm very tempted to try them out because I do like the idea of them and see if they do last for the 8 years that the guy claimed. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will, in all honesty, because I'm quite impressed with them. $15.99 doesn't put me off if they last for a long time.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see them at the end of the summer after they've spent an entire season in the sun.
Yeah. But we'll find that out this year.
Well, I will follow along with your progress before I spend any money.
Fantastic. Good show.
All the best.
All the best, Sean. Take care.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. There we go. That was Sean from London. There we go. What were we saying? So, let me get rid of that image. Sorry. Early. Good evening, Richard. I trust you're well. Late in, but I'll watch from the start once your show has finished. Thank you very much. Keeps up their viewing figures. Digwell, as Nigel says, though, if they are rubber, then they will be thicker, so they will fit in a UK-sized seed tray for watering. Well, I'm going to get myself some and try them out, and we'll see how they get on. Digwell, I have bamboo fibre socks, very comfy. And Jenny says, bamboo would be great. Get yourself on Dragon's Den. There is a bamboo pot company out there. I know that because I met them last year at another kind of event. And I know this, I'm pretty sure, it doesn't say anything, but I'm pretty sure this is made out of bamboo. So, yeah. Yeah. Jenny Hallett also says, I love companion planting. Exactly. I tried to Ballysillian, I tried to companion plant, but need to learn a lot more about it. I'm in the same boat actually. I try to, and I need to learn more about it. Love companion plant. Absolutely so beneficial for us and wildlife. Pest traps and many are edible. Indeedly. I just saw in that pic that they are a 5x6 matrix, so that answered my own question. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5x6, and I think is it that one or no? They're the root trainers. Yeah, 5x6. So yeah. Ian Meadows, 8 years to find out. Will they still be being made? I hope so. I mean, the person who I was talking to said that they've had them last for up to 8 years, or for 8 years, and they're still using them. Sorry. I've really and see. So yeah. It's a long time, but like I say, with plastic that only lasts a few years, it's got to be a bit of a comparison. I'm very surprised that a company haven't started making paper pots, maybe a bit stronger than the ones I make. I think they do exist. I'm sure I've seen paper pots or something similar in Wilco. They were like a black thing that you put in the ground and they biodegrade. Digger says, so no, they won't fit in an IK seed tray. Yeah, I think IK is the ones that was mentioned earlier. Let's go a swig of this. Oh, my throat does get very, very dry at doing this at times. Yeah. Nigel said the man has only started selling them. As he gets bigger, they will get cheaper. From Ballysillian, yes, I think he has only just started selling them in the UK. This is the whole point: is that they've only just started selling them in the UK, and let's see if I'm just going to see if I can Wildlife UK. Oh, what was the website called? Trying to remember what the website was called now, so I can look it up while chatting to you and show you it. Oh, it's over here, isn't it? Oh, to get it, I have to scan the code, and I can't do that while I'm going on here. I can't remember the website. It's something like wildlifeuk.com. Let's just try that. Oh no, that's not working. That's not working. No, I can't find it. Can't find it. I've got it. I've got their card upstairs, so I'll look into it a bit more. Here we go. Nicola, McDonald coffee cups can be used as an alternative. Yeah, I've used those. They're pretty good, as are most other coffee cups you can get. Again, a bit wasteful though, single use. The black paper pot in Wilco have plastic string inside them. That's why I didn't buy them. Yeah, but okay, plastic string is not good. If it was a natural fibre, perhaps something like flax, then it'd probably be okay. Oh, Wildlife World, that's it. Wildlife World. Thank you. Sorry, I'm late again from Idaho. We're having a wild winds, stuff blowing all over my yard. I saw some photos of the winds earlier, actually. Yeah, so Wildlife World. See if that brings it up. There we go. Yeah. So let me just share this with you, and you see share screen, Chrome tab, Wildlife World, share. Am I sharing it now with you? No. So this is their website that we were talking about. It was a bit difficult to find what I was looking for. But as you can see, they specialise in wildlife, and that's their main target. What was I looking for? Products by species, products by range. This is it. Wild animal Simon King plants for wildlife. Was that the area we're likely to find it in? I tell you what, there was a seed search somewhere. I've got to admit, I found this the other day when I was trying to find it on their website. It's very difficult. It might be in plastic-free gardening. There we go. Plastic-free gardening. So there we go. 30 cell natural rubber seed, $15.99. 20 cell, $19.99. The 8 cell natural rubber root coach, $25.99. And the 6 cell, $19.99. So that's the range that they do. Yeah, I can see you all shouting at me, plastic-free gardening, to tell me where it was. Yeah, there we go. Found it in the end. Numerous sites sell them, including Amazon, made in Sri Lanka and shipped in again. Yeah, I mean, rubber, natural rubber doesn't grow in the UK, obviously. I think I've seen it growing in some gardens, though, but not very well. So it's obviously going to be shipped in. But it is an actual product, and also it gives work to people who may be a little bit worse off than us. Oh no, sorry, I should be staying there. I was going to move that one. I think the Veg Army should put all their heads together to make an eco-friendly plant/seed trays. We could make a fortune. Yeah, perhaps we should make it so we can make it and sell it in the UK as well to keep down our shipping costs. Make it natural, make it recyclable, make it compostable. And two don't go together, but you know what I mean. Right. I think we're going to start wrapping up for tonight. It's been a good chat. I know it's been a bit self-indulgent for me looking into stuff that I saw the other day, but I think it's been interesting. Stuart, it's called wood. Yeah, it's wood. Always found locally. Indeed. Idaho, I'm trying not to use plastic. I've bought some plastic over the years, but I reuse over and over again until they disintegrate. Yeah, I think I do that as well. The trouble is when it disintegrates, it disintegrates quite nastily. So, and that's what I want to avoid. Thanks for another good evening. You're welcome. Thank you for your phone call. Remember Dad growing in wooden mushroom boxes. Yeah, indeed. Mushroom boxes, anything like that we can find. But I find it interesting chatting to you guys this evening. You've all been drawn to these rubber seed trays as well. I don't know if that was my influence, but I know many other people on the day were also drawn by them. So there's something in it. There's got to be something in it if we are interested in this sort of thing. Thanks as always, Richard. See you all next week from Turbo Stream. Love my wooden seed trays from Sean James Cameron. Looking forward to the next week. Great topic. Thank you for tonight from Jenny. Thank you. I've really enjoyed looking at those products. Woodban. This was my first live show. Enjoyed it very much. Thanks for answering my questions, everyone. Most welcome. It's what it's all about. Ask questions. Everyone answers. Thanks again. Enjoy your weeks. It's some interesting products and great chat as ever. Indeed. Let's say next week, companion plants. So please do get your thinking caps on, get your ideas in, and I will be back again then. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. So you guys take care, and I'll see you all again next Sunday at 6.